Welcome back to Peek into COS. Today, I'm joined by Abby and Gundi, the co-owners of Auric Gallery in Colorado Springs. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's
Thanks
great.
for having us.
Yeah, it's
We're
absolutely.
excited to be
It's
here.
great to have you both here. What originally brought you to Colorado Springs other than birth? You were born here.
I was practically born here.
you
I mean,
were
my husband won't let me claim to be a native because I was 3 months old.
Because you're 3 months old. So if you had the native bumper sticker, it would have an asterisk.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
Exactly.
But 3 months old. So
3 months
you've
old.
lived here your whole life?
I left for about 20 years for college and grad school and life, and then I came back.
You came back.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Abby, how about you?
I've been here since I was 3, so I also left for college, not for as long as Gundi left. I went to Colorado Mountain College in Glenwood Springs, and then got my bachelor's in Rochester, New York, and realized how much I took Colorado for granted and moved right back.
Yeah,
when I graduated.
exactly.
It's fascinating to me how many people I do meet that really have come back. For whatever the reason is, whether it's family or the mountains or the lifestyle, everything.
All of the above.
All of the
Yes,
above,
you realize
right.
how good you have it here.
I know. So for listeners who are visitors, be prepared because you could hear those mountains calling, and we do sometimes talk about today's tourist is tomorrow's talent, because lots of time people will come for a visit. And the next thing you know, they're saying, "Hey, I wonder if they have jobs here." Like how does this all work?
Fall in love with the city very quickly.
Yeah, the whole region. Okay, so you guys have a great story of how Auric Gallery started. You both had owned separate galleries. Yes. So let's let listeners hear a little bit about how it happened and what it's like.
Yeah. I think just to preface it, like during the pandemic, Gundi and I both had our individual galleries in different spaces, and we were already friends, but we worked by ourselves, and we suddenly became like business colleagues in the sense that.
Did you compete?
No,
you didn't really compete.
That's not a word in our vocabulary.
No.
Okay.
We're about
co-opetition.
Yes.
That's a good one. Collaboration over competition.
Sure. Okay.
That's
cool.
kind of our motto.
Yeah. And we supported each other because it was scary having your own business, and we knew what we were going through. Same type of business. We both have young children, families to support, to help support, and it was our livelihood. So we kept saying, "What are you doing to do? How are you doing this? How are you doing this?" And we became really close during that time.
And also during the pandemic, we did start a different business together called Curate Your Space. So we had our individual galleries, but then we did start a business where we curate homes and businesses. And then when I moved downtown right next door to her, we would just be like, "Hello, what are you doing today?" And we're like, "Why are we doing this? Why don't we team up?" And that finally came to fruition last year, January.
I love that. And it is a great story. I mean, we talk about the pandemic still. Some of us, you kind of look in the rearview mirror and we know there were casualties, to say the least. And we're here talking about businesses. But this is really a success story, okay, of surviving and thriving and those sorts of things. So let's talk about the kind of when you were pulling this together. What was, besides cooperation, collaboration, I suppose, what did you change about your two galleries that you brought together as one and say, like, this is our North Star, this is like our mission and that sort of thing? What was that turning point for you?
Yeah, well, many things, but the collaboration we'll just keep saying that probably.
Yeah.
You probably that's right. How many times we say it during this podcast. But we really wanted, like, Gundi had a successful gallery on her own, and mine was successful on its own. But we didn't want it to look like just U44 Gallery or Kreuser Gallery. We wanted it to look like us combined, collaborating together. So we sat down and talked about what's most important to us, and we really have the same vision. We want to support local artists, up and coming, and established artists.
While also building a community.
Yeah,
Like the community aspect is very important to us.
a safe place for artists to have their voice.
Right.
And feel, yeah, that was very important.
And are either one of you artists?
Abby is.
I am.
Abby is.
Yeah.
What kind of art?
I went to school for fine art photography, and I still dabble in it. I don't do it as much as I
Yeah.
used to, but yeah.
And I have my master's in art history, so
Okay.
I always say I'm on the other side of the desk, so to speak. But honestly, curation is now our form of artwork.
Absolutely.
That's great.
Curating is an art form in and of itself.
It's a little personal story for me. My mom had an amazing job when we lived in the D.C. area. My mom worked as the curator of the Air Force art collection
Oh, wow.
at the Pentagon.
Oh, that's amazing.
She had like 6,000 pieces of art that she
Wow.
would rotate across military bases all over the globe. And she worked with these artists
Yeah.
who just loved our country, and they were very successful artists on their own. And
Yeah.
so when my mom would say, hey, there's something going on that we need for historical purposes to capture, or a new general would get appointed and it was time for an oil painting.
Yeah.
My mom did all that. And so
That's a really
she,
neat job.
it was amazing.
That's
She
really
had
cool.
she had a
Fascinating.
colleague in the Army,
Yeah.
she had a colleague in the Navy, and the three of them would give tours of the Pentagon, unlike
That's
most people,
amazing.
because
Yeah.
the hallways were just covered with art. But anyway,
Yeah, so you know what curation is all
I
about.
do know what curation is about. Exactly.
I love that.
So let's talk a little bit about community here in Colorado Springs and really the region. I guess what here we're doing this podcast at the end of August. October is Arts Month. It's coming up soon. But for listeners, both locals and the visitors, talk about what the community of art is like, both in the Springs, and if you can even spread it to Manitou and Woodland Park, wherever you want to talk about.
Yeah. We have an amazing, thriving arts community here. The artists, the gallerists, they all champion for each other. It's really kind of cool to watch that, because a lot of people and a lot of communities don't work that way. We always, for instance, we have Clay Ross hanging at the gallery right now. He owns the Lookup Gallery in Yobel with his wife, Emily. We've shown Valerie Lloyd, who owns Surface Gallery, so we collaborate that way. But then, like the Downtown Partnership, then OCC and Manitou have the Creative Arts District, so they
Sure.
all collaborate with each other.
And tell people what the Creative Arts District, what is that designation all about?
You have to, I can't remember exactly how that works, but you have to be certified, a certified creative district. So you have to apply for it, and you have to show why you are this.
Yeah.
And so they don't just hand it over. So it's pretty awesome that we have downtown, both OCC and Manitou. And they actually call it the Creative Corridor.
Corridor,
because
right.
You can go all the way down Colorado and visit all of these different galleries.
Right,
Yeah.
right, okay.
Yeah, our community is amazing. I mean, the support artists give one another. Again, we keep saying it, but the collaboration, not just amongst us, but amongst other artists and like she said, gallerists. We have artists come in from out of state, and they're like, I've never experienced this kind of art community anywhere, and they've lived all over the world.
So besides collaboration, what would you say is the linchpin that keeps it together? The cultural office, is there something that you think makes it so unique compared to other cities?
I think a lot of it is the support of the local artists themselves. I mean, a lot of the galleries here, they will only show Pikes Peak region artists.
Interesting.
We do that, but we have some Denver and Santa Fe artists that we work with.
Okay.
But primarily it's Pikes Peak region artists, up and coming and
Yeah.
established. So I think and the collectors here too, they want to buy from local artists. That we find that often.
Okay.
When we have shown other people in the past, there are some collectors that if they don't know who the artist is, as much as they love the piece of artwork, they won't buy it.
And
Interesting.
this community, everybody wants to get to know everybody.
Okay.
So collectors and artists, like they become friends, and they have each other over, for dinner and
Sure.
whatnot. Like it becomes this really big, wonderful family that we're all part of. So we're very lucky here.
So if you were going to give advice to someone who's listening who is maybe a young person who's thinking about going to college to study art or to look at making a living as an artist? What kind of advice would you give, whether it's someone young and up and coming or somebody who's at a career transition point and they want to take their hobby and see if they can make a living at it? What kind of advice would you give them?
Well, Gundi and I are very honest,
Yep.
and it's not the easiest of
It's not easy.
It's not an
whether
easy
you're
career.
the artist or the gallerist. It's a 24/7 job, hustling constantly, pivoting. We have pivoted so much in our time, so many times in our business to make it thrive. It's not for the faint of heart at all. So be prepared for that. But if you love what you do, it shows. We oftentimes tell up-and-coming artists or people that just move here, apply to as many calls as you can, go to First Fridays, get to know the community. The artists that come in and they say, oh, I've never been in here, but can I have a show? That doesn't work well for
Yeah,
us.
it's not a good first impression.
No,
Right.
it's not. And don't approach us on First Friday and show us
Yeah,
your
right,
work.
right.
That's a tough one, too.
But yeah, that's exactly it, is get involved in the community. And then, take classes from well-established artists in our community,
Right.
and just keep learning your craft and pivoting. I mean, we have an artist who's constantly changing her style, but you always know it's her.
Okay.
And it's a hustle. I mean, we have artists going up to Denver and Boulder and down to Santa Fe and Crested Butte and just trying to get as many galleries as they can. It's a tough job.
It is
It's
a tough job.
Yeah.
Well, and it's networking just like any other industry in that
Exactly.
when somebody's looking for work, if
Exactly.
you will, you do have to network and have friends in places that can refer and things like that. No, that makes a lot of sense. All right, so let's talk to either our locals or our visitors who are in town thinking about Auric Gallery. Let's talk about A, your website address, B, your physical location, and C, when they walk in the front door, let's kind of describe the experience of what that's like. So website?
Website is auricgallery.com,
Spelled-
which is AURIC gallery.com.
And where did that name come from?
It's
Oh,
a
yes,
story.
it is a
Okay.
great story. When we were combining, I mean, it was just a list a mile long trying to figure out a name.
Right.
And finally, I just inputted our kids' names, COS and Aria, and those anagrams or whatever
Yeah.
they call it. It came up with Auric, and I was like, well, what is this?
We liked
I
the
like
word.
this.
You like the word.
So it means gold and fortune,
Okay.
spirituality, and it's a combination of our kids' names. And
So it's
we-
AURIC.
Yes.
Gallery.com.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, auricgallery.com.
Auric.
Physically located at?
125 East Boulder Street on the corner of Nevada and Boulder.
Okay, right in the heart of downtown Colorado Springs.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so street parking.
Metered parking.
Metered parking.
Up and down Nevada, there is some free parking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Very
So-
easy parking.
Okay.
Not a busy stretch.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, so we're opening the front door, and what's it good? What do people expect?
Well, you're gonna see us right away. We're
Okay,
gonna be like,
yeah.
welcome to Auric.
Yeah, welcome to Auric. Right.
Our gallery manager, Deborah Shane,
Yeah.
she
Okay.
also helps us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a very large space. It's almost
Almost,
3,000 almost 3,000 square feet.
Sure.
It's divided into 3 rooms. So the front room has, we represent 30 core artists that we
Okay,
call
30.
30 artists.
Mhm.
We represent more, like over 100, but 30 core. So in that first room, you'll find artwork from those artists as well as artisan jewelry, candles, pottery, and then you move into our other rooms.
In our other rooms, we have 4 individual galleries, which will house, we change every month, and it's either a solo exhibit or a group exhibit, sometimes a duo exhibit, but it's 4 new exhibits monthly in the other spaces.
Okay.
Except for in December and February, where we have 2 of our annual shows. In December, it's our holiday show, which is an invitational, so we invite our core artists and
Sure.
some other artists that we represent. And then we also have our annual gratitude show, which happens in February, which is a call to artists, and
Okay.
it usually has approximately 150 artists hanging on the walls.
That's awesome. How long? I don't know if you've ever timed it, but like when somebody comes in, how long does the average person stay?
Oh, it depends.
Yeah.
I mean, it really depends. First Fridays are amazing, and some people stay the whole time.
The whole time,
Some people
yeah.
come and go. But we do find, I think it's one of the things that I love is that people come back after First Friday and sometimes on their lunch break, and they just like to sit in there.
Sure.
They like it's like going to a library of art. They get to spend time with the artwork without having to converse with other people. Sometimes they converse with us, and sometimes they don't, and they just enjoy being in the space, and I love that, and I know Gundi does too.
Yeah.
So First Friday's like a big.
It is.
First
Yeah.
Friday is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we get hundreds of people through there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 300 at the least.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
300 to 500 people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then some of our group shows, it'll be shoulder to shoulder people. I mean, some
Yeah,
people.
our holiday gratitude show is a little.
Okay.
It's a lot.
After the pandemic, we do have people still that will be like, I drove past to come and see, and I saw how many people were in there, and I decided I would come another day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're open during the week. We are not only open on First Friday, which
Yeah.
a lot
Of
of people
course.
seem to think.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. Well, for during First Friday, talk about what the hours are for then and then the rest of the week.
Yeah, on First Friday, we're open 4 to 8 p.m.
4 to 8.
And then during the week, Tuesday through Saturday, 12 to 5.
Okay. Tuesday through Saturday. All right.
Yeah.
And do you offer any food? Like people can come
First
through?
Friday is just wine and beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a cash
good.
bar.
So you were able to get that license.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was one that was again something that came out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
To help people and
Absolutely.
and there's some nice improvements being made downtown on Tejon Street too, which I think will really help
Yeah.
not only residents but visitors to be able to navigate. And we're recording this in the summer of '25, and we're getting close to at least finishing part one, and I know there's going to be a part two. And though you guys are not right on that corner, any improvement to downtown Colorado Springs,
Everything helps.
everything helps. Did you, location wise, you all were neighbors, you were next door. What was it about this location that just made the most sense?
Well, so Gundi was on 8th Street for
Okay.
many years. That's where she started, and her business was doing well there. I started under the Colorado Bridge in the Arts Depot district, and I didn't get a lot of foot traffic. I knew
Yeah, you were
that
off the beat.
I knew that the traffic that came in on First Friday, that was pretty much what I was going to get all month, no matter how much I hustled.
Wow.
So I happened upon that space in at the end of 2018, I think it was. My friend Lauren used to own the vintage shop that was on Nevada, and
Okay.
she said you should look at the space around the corner. The landlords here like to keep small business in business, so the rent's really cheap. So I took a chance, and it did not look like what it looks like now.
Okay.
And when I moved down there, and then a couple of years down the road, me and Gundi became friends. I said, "You should move down here," and she's like, "No, I like being by my parent. My mom or her family owns the Sovereignty Wines, which was right next to her gallery."
Right,
And
sure.
I was like, "I get it."
Yeah.
So another gallery moved in, and then she decided she wanted to close, and so I was like, "Hey, Gundi,
Yeah.
the space is open again."
I regretted the decision immediately. And then when
Yeah.
it came back up, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I got to move downtown.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. Mostly, obviously, Abby was there, and we had established a friendship
Sure.
and a business.
And trust and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But also just the amazing support, the downtown partnership, Copper, Peak Radar, like all of like they are so supportive of downtown, and it's great, and the arts and the galleries and all that stuff. So it's been a wonderful change. Yeah.
I love that. I think that for people who don't live here and they hear about Colorado Springs and Olympic City, USA, and they hear about sports and they know about military, and yet in the years that I've lived here, which is now about 15, the arts community is something I really didn't know much about when I first got here. And just, from the Ent Center for the Arts, the things that have opened here, I hope that, people that are listening will take pride in knowing how many homegrown artists we have in this community. I think we're probably like other cities in that regard, that you do want to, always talk about shop local, but when you're talking about art, you're really supporting, not only a gallery, but an artist that really makes their living and relies on people here. So if you're listening to this and you've got friends and relatives that might be coming to visit, one of the things you really should think about is doing not only the Friday art walk, or Friday, what am I?
First Friday.
First Friday. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
that's
First
it.
Friday. But even coming off hours and off days to come down and just explore.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Peak Radar. I mean, peakradar.com is a tool that if you have not used it, it's what we all use. It's our calendar
Yeah.
for every day of the year of what's going on in the region. And so,
It's such a wonderful tool that
Yeah.
if people don't know about it, they really should, because
Yeah.
they are so supportive of everything going on in Colorado Springs.
what do you, as you look into the future, what do you see as like maybe the on the horizon? What are your hopes for the art community in Colorado Springs and the region in general? Where would you like to see it go?
Since we started, I feel like it's taken micro steps to get to where it's at, and want to just continue to see the growth and collaboration just naturally
Sure.
evolve. And I think it's happening. I mean, it's pretty special. I mean, it's not going to happen overnight, and I think it's happening at the pace that it needs to.
Yeah. I have a couple things. One is that for people, I mean, it has changed so much since we started our galleries almost 15 years ago, that people don't have to go to Denver or Santa Fe.
Sure,
like
Boulder,
we have,
right.
we have incredible artists here,
We do.
top talent, and prices are still relatively low compared to those other cities.
Sure.
And secondly, I really hope prices for rent doesn't skyrocket too much.
Yep.
It always hurts the arts community first, and that is something we are definitely nervous about on the horizon.
Yes.
So looking forward with a lot of excitement for the future, but that is definitely one thing we get nervous about.
Well, and there's some housing being built for artists, right?
There is art spaces being built, so it's affordable art housing. There's lots of different places available for artist studios:
Sure.
Cottonwood, Yobel, the Lookup, and the Sluice, and Manitou Art Center. But it still needs to grow.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a lot. I mean, it's amazing when we do a call for artists, the amount of submissions we get in is from anywhere from 400 to 500 submissions. Wow. And we've been doing this for a really long time. And sometimes it's 50% of the people we don't recognize them. So it is growing rapidly, and we on a daily basis have people reach out and ask for shows, and we're booked up for 2 years. So we encourage them to do calls and tell them where else to go, which Peak Radar is great for that too, because you can put calls to artists on there. But the rent prices, that's a big thing. I will piggyback on that. That does make Gundi and I nervous. We are savvy businesswomen, but we can only we don't own our building. We wish we owned our building.
Sure.
We do not own our building, and we don't have control over that. So you still, as a small business, your livelihood is in someone else's hands.
Yeah. There is kind of a parallel to the restaurant business too. I mean, that's something else that has grown exponentially in this city and gotten better and better, and yet, to your point, when it comes to rents and things like that, restaurants, there's so many costs from labor to food and you name it, that restaurateurs are often looking to figure out what does the future really hold for us. Okay. Well, let me take a little bit of a break here and talk about our sponsor for today, which happens to be Visit Colorado Springs. We launched a new neighborhoods and areas hub highlighting 25 unique communities across the Pikes Peak region. So in addition to well-known spots like Old Colorado City and Manitou Springs, the hub also features lesser-known areas like Security Y Field, Nob Hill, and Green Mountain Falls. So whether you're local to the Springs or visiting, you're guaranteed to learn something new about the region has to offer. Check us out at visitcos.com/areas. And we've got 25 of these areas, neighborhoods that we're putting in, and we're really, really excited about this project. All right, so to you two natives, basically.
Oh, thank you, Doug. Did you hear that, Raleigh?
Yeah, exactly.
My husband.
No asterisk. 3 months, you were.
We keep saying if we can't remember before that, then this should be where we're from. But natives, they
I know, they're
stick strong.
All right,
sticklers.
well, here you are.
Thank
you're
you.
locals. I've got 3 questions. I'm going to ask you both, and I'll just alternate who answers first. So, Abby, let's start with you.
Okay.
In 3 words, how would you describe Colorado Springs?
3 words: majestic, grounding,
Grounding
and community.
and community. Okay, Gundi, can you give me 3 different words?
Oh, 3 different words.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, I wanted to say community.
Yeah, of course.
Wah, wah.
Let's see. Vibrant,
Mhm.
growing,
Yeah,
and beautiful.
and beautiful. Okay,
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Okay, Gundi, I'm going to stay with you. Next question. What is your favorite hidden gem anywhere in the Pikes Peak region? Like, where do you like to go to,
Oh,
or take your family, or like, what's your
what's my go-to place?
Yeah, your
well, Garden of the Gods.
Garden of the Gods?
Yeah,
Just the park?
We aren't too far. We don't live too far from
Sure.
a trailhead there. And,
Okay.
And anytime we try daily to walk through the
Yeah.
Garden of the Gods.
Yeah.
And
How blessed are you?
I'm so lucky. I am so fortunate.
Yeah.
And I say to my daughter and my husband just about every other time we go, like,
Yeah.
people travel from all over the world
Right.
to come here and visit, and we get to see this in
So
our
it's
backyard.
not exactly a hidden gem for those of you listening.
it's not,
But for
but-
you, Garden of the Gods.
But when you said, like,
Yeah, you're
it's a very grounding,
Sure.
spiritual, beautiful.
Exactly.
Reminds me of how lucky I am.
Yeah.
So.
Abby?
I would say, well, I don't. It's not very heavily trafficked, so I don't know if I want to say. It's actually a little outside of Colorado Springs, but once you get to the top, you can see Colorado Springs. It's the Heiser Trail, which is right up 24. You get onto it off of Cascade. I like it because you can get up there and there's no leash laws, and in the city I see why there's leash laws, but my dogs can run, and there's not a lot of people up there, and you get a view of Colorado Springs. You can see the garden from certain spots.
Wow.
You can see Manitou Reservoir. It's just, it connects to the Ring the Peak Trail. So
Okay,
it's
so
like
the Heiser Trail.
The Heiser Trail. It's
Okay.
beautiful.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Abby,
Yes.
what is still on your bucket list of a place in the Pikes Peak region that you haven't been to, that you
Ooh.
want to go?
I don't know that there is anything
Is
on my
there-
bucket. I mean, I've been
there-
here for so long,
Yeah.
and very outdoorsy. I don't know.
Is
that-
there an attraction that you haven't been to? Have you been to the New Olympic Museum?
I've been to the Olympic
Okay,
Museum.
for sure, right?
Which is beautiful,
Right.
amazing. The Ent Center. That's a really tough one. I
know.
don't know that there's.
Think about it.
I will.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I'm embarrassed to say I've not been to the Olympic Museum yet. So
Okay.
I really
So
want to
it's
do
on-
that.
We've recorded that
Yes,
now.
I know.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
yeah.
And then I also, outdoorsy, I actually haven't done Seven Bridges, and I really want to do
Oh, you haven't
that
done
one.
Seven Bridges?
Yeah,
Okay.
I really want to
Well,
do that
and
trail.
when you go to the Olympic and Paralympic Museum, you
Yeah.
will see Leroy Neiman is very featured up on, I think, the second floor.
Yeah.
And they've done an amazing job with the gifts that he gave to the museum through
Yeah.
his foundation. So I think you would appreciate
I love that.
the
Yeah.
Leroy Neiman art that's there.
Yeah.
I have one.
Okay.
The zip lining at the Cave of the Winds.
Ah!
I would like to do that.
Okay, good. All right, well, that's excellent. Well, all right, both of you, thank you. Let's put a bow on this and remind listeners where it is that they get all their information about the Auric Gallery.
You can find everything you need to know about our gallery at www.auricgallery.com.
Okay. AURIC.
AURIC, yes,
Okay.
gallery.com.
Yes,
All
and we're on Instagram and Facebook and all the social media, YouTube channel, all the things.
Love it. Thank you for not only being here, but thanks for just being entrepreneurs and examples for others who might have a dream, about doing something like this. You really do help people in a way that they may never be able to fully thank you, but the fact that you are where you are, you've been here this long, you know the community, we're blessed to have you both here. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for
Absolutely.
the kind
We
words.
appreciate you.
Yeah.